Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. You can follow us on Twitter at CATEX TV. There has been an accident of some sort in Manila. Officials are saying that a Philippine train crashed into a concrete barrier in the suburb of Manila called Pasay City, injuring scores of passengers. According to early press reports, rescue workers are scrambling to save passengers on a train that crashed into a concrete barrier and then rolled into a busy street intersection. A number of riders have already been taken to nearby hospitals. Of course, massive traffic jams have ensued. I'm looking at the monitor. There are no reports of any deaths yet, but the information is still quite sketchy. If anything big comes out of this, we'll come back. In the UK, Brit Insurance confirmed this morning in its interim results that it's scheduled to pay its first dividend as a public company. They relisted in an IPO earlier this year. They're going to offer shareholders 6.25 pence per share. First half of 2014 saw limited catastrophe activity, with the company incurring no claims, especially from the Malaysia Airlines 370, the one that disappeared, or the Korean ferry losses. Brit does say that they have some exposure to the recent Tripoli airport attacks, where estimated insured losses could be as high as $700 million, although it's anticipated that this would largely be contained within its existing loss ratios. Translation, they think they've put enough claims reserves up. The thing that's saving Brit is that about 75% of their business remains in general insurance, where pricing has shown not only some resilience, but it's actually begun to increase. The 25% or the 10% or so that's in property reinsurance, of course, continues to fall as rates decline. The company added that it's going to cut back on writing this business. In Iraq, the situation continues, almost becoming absurd now. If it wasn't so dangerous, the Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is refusing to accept his removal as the Prime Minister of the country. He spoke to a nationwide audience on television yesterday, saying that the Supreme Court now has to rule on this week's move to ask his Shiite Islamist Party colleague, Haider al-Abadi, to form a new government. He has no allies left. Even his own party has abandoned him, blaming him for alienating the Sunni minority during his 8 years of power. And of course, that's given rise to the Islamic Caliphate of ISIS. The Americans and the Europeans have abandoned him as well. Let's not forget that there are some high mountains in Europe, especially Europe's highest mountain, Mont Blanc, in southeastern France. Apparently, 5 climbers have died and a 6th one is missing, expected to be dead today on Mont Blanc. August is the height of the climbing season on Europe's tallest mountain. However, even in August, sudden snowstorms can strike quickly. The climbers disappeared overnight as they were trying to reach one of the peaks of the mountain, this particular one about 12,800 feet. The bodies of 5 climbers were located. The 6th has not been found. On Thursday, tomorrow, about 13 hours from now, given the fact that it's in Asia, the Catholic Pope Francis I is going to arrive in South Korea. It's going to be the first time a pope has visited the Korean Peninsula in 25 years. Do not be surprised if he makes his way up to the 38th parallel to look across into North Korea. An interesting aspect of this is that Vatican protocol calls for the Pope to send greetings to the heads of states of countries that he flies over while traveling. Usually these greetings are worth mentioning, except that this time he's going to be flying through Chinese airspace en route to Seoul. It's going to offer him a rare chance to speak directly to the Chinese leadership. He has already exchanged informal correspondence, private correspondence, with the Chinese President Xi Jinping, so the papal telegram should offer at least a little bit of a public view as to the Vatican efforts under Pope Francis to engage the Chinese regime. There's been another show business death in the United States. The actress Lauren Bacall passed away at age 89, apparently in New York last night. Her death was announced by the Humphrey Bogart estate. She had been married to Humphrey Bogart until Mr. Bogart died in the 1950s. Interestingly enough, it developed that Ms. Bacall was the first cousin of Israeli President Shimon Peres, which is a fact that we did not know. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at CATEX TV. It's a little bit of the August vacation season, so there's not terribly much news in the reinsurance space, but we'll keep our eyes on it. If anything breaks, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.